I have a lot to say, so I hope you're ready for a roller coaster of emotions and a story of revenge. My name is Winter, and I'm 34 years old. This story revolves around my mother-in-law, Pam, and my husband, Matt, and me. I'm the youngest child in my family. I have 2 brothers above me. Growing up, I've always noticed that my parents treated us differently. They would pamper my brothers and would mostly ignore me. It used to bother me a lot growing up, but I've learned to distract myself by focusing on my studies. All that focus and hard work allowed me to get into this prestigious college for law. I got a full-ride scholarship with housing aid too. It was my ticket out of my toxic household. I ran and never looked back. At college, I continued to work hard towards my education. I graduated with honors, and I passed the bar exam with flying colors too. Thanks to the various reputable firms I entered at during my degree, I was able to start working at a very big and reputable firm right out of college. I worked for a year and then began pursuing my master's. I began to climb up in my field. I quickly became a reputable lawyer in my state. I worked hard every single day. And the biggest bonus was the fact that I was earning big, but I never let it show. I lived humbly and faithfully invested my money in various places. I was about 30 years old when I met my husband, Matt. We had met through a dating app. I was finally at a place where I was comfortable with getting serious in a relationship. I figured a dating app would be the best place to start. After swiping left for days, just as I was about to give up, Matt's profile came across my feed. I have to say that Matt intrigued me from the start. I swiped right on him and we matched. We talked for a few weeks through the app and eventually exchanged numbers and began texting normally. We set up a date and found out that we had a natural connection with each other. With each date we went on, I found myself falling in love with him. I mean, the guy was handsome as hell. He had this sense of humor that always cracked me up, and he was romantic. Not a date went by where he didn't buy me a large bouquet. He always held the doors for me and without fail texted me good mornings and good nights. I felt so cared for when I was with him, which is what made every decision in the relationship with him so easy. It had only been 6 months into us being with each other for Matt to ask me to move in with him. I said yes, obviously. I mean, if the man could make me smile and feel good when we lived apart, what would he make me feel like when we lived together? I wanted to feel that happy every day while being next to him. 2 months after we moved in together, Matt told me he wanted to introduce me to his parents.
Babe, I've been thinking, and would you be open to meeting my parents this weekend?
Oh, I mean, sure. That's a pretty big step, though, don't you think?
I know it is. You're amazing. I want to show you off to everyone. I just know that you're the one for me. I want my parents to meet you because they need to know who I'll be spending my life with.
Oh, baby, of course I'll meet your parents. I'm excited to meet them too. I want to meet the people who raised such an awesome man.
I hope that they'll like you.
What do you mean? Do you think they'll hate me? Am I doing anything wrong? Is there some aspect of me that would make them disapprove me?
Whoa, calm down, babe. It's nothing like that. My dad will like you for sure. My mom, well, let's just say she's very picky. She'll find any reason to disapprove of my partner.
Oh? Has that happened before?
Has it? It's happened with every single girlfriend I've had.
Ow, well, I'll be on my best behavior. I really do hope she'll like me.
Anyways, it won't matter what she'll say. I love you, and that will never change. I just want you to meet them for the formality of it all.
In the next days leading up to the weekend, I was going to meet Matt's parents. I was nervous as hell. I was scared that his parents really wouldn't like me. And even though I knew Matt's opinions of me wouldn't change because of his parents' opinions, I still wanted them to like me. I mean, I loved Matt and wanted to be accepted by his family too. Now, I would love to say that the dinner with his parents went off well, but, it really did not. We arrived at Matt's house and we were greeted by his dad. His dad gave us both big warm hugs. He told me he was pleased to meet me and informed us that dinner would be ready soon. In the meantime, he poured a glass of wine and asked us to sit in the living room till dinner was served. Matt and I sipped our wine, and Matt comforted me and tried to ease my nerves. Finally, at dinner time, the 4 of us sat at the dining table. I had yet to introduce myself to Matt's mother, so I did that. I haven't had the chance to introduce myself yet, but my name is Winter.
Hi, Winter. I'm Pam. So tell me, how did you and Matt meet?
We met on this dating app.
A dating app?
Yeah, we just clicked, you know?
So what do you do?
Oh, I'm a lawyer.
Ew. You're one of them blood-sucking leeches.
Excuse me?
Mom! I'm sorry, but every lawyer is only after one thing, and that's money. I don't know why you're with this one. Yeah, Mom, because I have so much money for her to go after. I will not have you disrespect my girlfriend like this. Oh, please, I was just stating facts. No, you're showing your prejudice. Come on, babe, let's get out of here.
The drive back home was silent. I was still reeling from what Pam had said. While Matt was seething with anger, I thought Matt was exaggerating about his mother being picky, but he really wasn't. I barely got in a couple of sentences before she passed her judgment on me. A part of me didn't care about how she viewed me because I still had Matt, but another part of me was upset that my existence in general had made her judge me so harshly. When we reached home, Matt pulled me into a long hug. When we pulled away, Matt looked at me with tears in his eyes. What's wrong, babe? Did I do something?
No, it's just... I'm so sorry I put you through that. I'm sorry my mother said such rude things about you.
Oh, no, babe. Nothing for you to say sorry about. Besides, you already warned me about it. I guess I just didn't expect her to be so harsh.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry. She's always been like that. No matter what I say, she'll always tell me that she's doing it for my benefit. I hate it.
It's okay. I don't care what your mother thinks of me and what she says to me. You stood up for me tonight, and I know that you'll have my back. And that's all I need. I'll be here by your side no matter what.
I must be the luckiest man in the universe to deserve you.
That you are. Eventually, we forgot about the whole interaction we had with Pam. That was until she called Matt and told him that she wanted to apologize for her behavior. She asked if she could come over to our place and personally apologize to me. She told him that his dad had chewed her out after we left and refused to talk to her until she made things right with us. Matt and I were skeptical at first. Matt didn't want to invite his mother over or even see her. It had only been a week and a half since our last interaction, but I convinced Matt to give his mother a chance. I told him that she might have changed her mind and realized her mistake. Matt was not very convinced, but agreed because he wanted to see what his mother wanted to say. So we invited her over that weekend. When the weekend arrived, Pam walked in and warmly greeted Matt. She pretty much ignored me. That irked Matt, but I just let it slide. She sat on our couch and looked around. Matt was losing his patience, so he asked his mother to go on with the apology.
Stop looking around, Mom. Get to the apology. Oh yeah, I'm sorry for the rude comments I made at you about you being a lawyer.
It's okay. Just so you know, not all lawyers are like that. I work to help those that are underprivileged.
Yeah, I can tell you're not one of those blood-sucking leeches kind of lawyers.
Thank you. That means so. I mean, look at this place. If you had any good money, you would have lived in a much better place.
I know there was nothing good to come out of you. Why can't you ever be nice? Please, dear, I want the best for you. You know what would be the best for me? You getting out of my life and my house. I don't want to hear out of your mouth. This is all your fault. No, it's not. Get out of my house, please, Mom.
Once again, I was beyond shocked by Pam's audacity. I thought that she would actually apologize, but this time, she swung in an entirely different direction. It was an insult upon insult, and I didn't know what to make of it. Matt told me that he didn't want to meet or hear from his mother for a while, and told me there was nothing I could say to convince him otherwise. I agreed with him because, honestly, it stung. Her words hurt, and I knew that it would do good for us both to keep our distance from her. When Matt and I got our first anniversary, Matt proposed to me. I knew without a doubt in my heart that I was more than prepared to spend the rest of my life with him. Over the next few months, we planned our dream wedding. We invited all our friends, those who were close to us and those who weren't alike. We sent out invites, and out of obligation, we sent out invites to our parents. We decided that even though neither of us liked our parents, excluding Matt's dad, we shouldn't exclude them from such an important event in our lives. Of course, when the invites reached Matt's parents, Pam reached out to Matt. She surprisingly properly apologized to Matt. Matt told her that if she'd try in any way to sabotage our wedding, he would have her thrown out. Pam promised to not do or say anything mean. She stuck to her word. Our wedding was glorious, and it was everything that we had wanted. We laughed, we cried together, we reconnected with so many people, and the night ended with lots of joy. It was the happiest of all. I mean, I married the man I loved with all my soul. Matt and I were excited to start a family together. It's one of the biggest reasons we got married so quickly as well. I mean, we both wanted to raise kids in the way that our parents never did for us. Our first order of business was buying a house. Through one of my friends, Matt and I were able to buy this beautiful house for practically nothing. Matt worked at a smaller company that made more than enough to support just himself. I didn't mind adding more to our savings than Matt could. We kept our savings in my account because Matt said that if he had money in his account, he would spend it. Since we were planning on having kids, we decided to be very transparent with our finances. We had each other's bank login details and would frequently budget accordingly. About 6 months after being married, we had to lower how much we put into our savings by a little. You see, Pam had fallen down the stairs at home and broken her hip. The medical expenses for the surgery and everything else were not entirely covered by her insurance. She was still left with a big bill to pay. So she reached out to Matt and asked if he could help her out. Matt told her that he'd get back to her soon and approached me about it.
I have something kind of big to ask you, babe.
What's that, hun?
My mom's insurance didn't cover the entire medical cost, and she still got a lot to pay off. She called me earlier today and asked if I could help. Should I?
Of course, darling, it's your mom.
I know, but you know how she disrespected you before.
I know. But she'd been on her best behavior lately. Also, I don't think it's fair for us to leave her downright in debt because she made a mean comment about me being a lawyer.
You're right, but, how do we do this? I don't have that kind of money to spare from my salary.
Don't you worry about that. I'll send her money monthly to help her pay it off, but I do have one condition.
What is it?
If she does insult me again, I will stop those payments.
That's a condition I have no problem with.
And so, for the next 4 months, I sent Pam money to help her pay her medical bills. I sent the money to Matt, and then he would send it to Pam. Everything was going pretty well. Pam was actually grateful for the money and never made a fuss if we were a little late to send her the money. The best thing that happened was that I had won a pretty big case 1 month ago. The settlement from that was huge. I mean, Matt and I would be set for quite a while if we decided to quit our current jobs and just relax for a while. To celebrate the occasion, Matt and I decided to throw a little brunch party on a Sunday. We invited our closest friends, our siblings, and our parents. In total, there were about 30 people. I spent the entire week prepping and preparing the meals while Matt worked on cleaning the house and setting up the place. He also took care of the drinks. I prepared dishes from a variety of cuisines and also made sure to have a menu for the kids. Since we could afford it, we decided to splurge on the drinks and got some of the best kinds of wines and other spirits. Matt made some amazing cocktails. If it wasn't already clear, Matt and I were excited to spend time with everyone. When the day of the party arrived, our house was filled with our guests. Everyone seemed to be having a great time. The food was practically scarfed down until there was nothing left, and the drinks just kept flowing, to say. Everyone was in a good mood. At some point in the party, Matt had opened his phone. He forgot that he had the bank app open, and was greeted by a bank balance. Pam was sitting next to him, and she saw his screen with the bank balance open. She gasped loudly. This led to a lot of people looking at her curiously. I too walked over because I was scared she would hurt herself again.
Oh my God, Matt.
I didn't know you had nearly $1 million in your account.
Mom, what?
Yeah, I just saw your bank page right now. It showed me 9 with 5 zeros after it.
I don't have $9,000 with me, Mom.
Makes sense why you could afford to have such a fancy party.
Mom,
you know what you should do?
Divorce that pathetic wife of yours. She calls herself a lawyer, which in itself is disgusting, but she barely makes anything. Throw her out of your life and find someone better.
Matt pales when he hears Pam say that. I, on the other hand, am seething. Before either Matt or I could say anything, Matt's dad grabs hold of Pam's wheelchair and rolls her out. He apologizes for her behavior and they leave. The rest of the party continued, but the atmosphere was ruined. Everyone stared at me with sympathy and I was mad. Matt was fuming too. The party ended pretty quickly after that. After everyone had left, Matt and I talked.
I'm sorry that I had that opened on my phone. We were discussing something and I pulled the phone to budget and must have forgotten to close the app. I'm so sorry, baby.
No, that's okay. What wasn't okay was what your mother said.
I know. How dare she insult you that way? That too in front of everyone.
At that moment, baby, I wanted to hurt her more than she was already hurting.
Oh, believe me, I was in the same boat.
All I wanted was one day to celebrate something big. Was that too much to ask for?
Oh no, darling, my mother is just the worst person to exist. You know what? While we may not be able to hurt her, we could do something that would ruin her.
What do you mean?
Remember when you said that we decided that we would help my mother?
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that in my anger.
Stop helping her with her medical bills, baby. That would put her in her place. We can't let my mother get away with this for too long.
Initially, I did feel bad. I mean, I was voluntarily putting someone through more suffering. But after that brunch, a bunch of our friends approached me to express their sympathy. That only made me madder. Pam knew what she was doing. She wasn't drunk. She wasn't allowed to drink because of her medications. She purposely did that to lower my reputation. It's petty, but when I've been dealing with her insults for a while, I'm bound to reach my breaking point. Not only did she embarrass me in front of all my closest friends and family, but she also asked my husband to leave me, like as if she had any right to say something like that. I didn't send Pam that money that month. It took her about 2 weeks to call Matt. Matt was at work when she called, so he ignored her calls. She called again later when Matt was at home. He handed the phone to me and told me to give her hell with a wink. I picked up the phone.
Matt, where's the money? It's been 1.5 months.
Hi, Pam.
Why do you have Matt's phone? Give the phone to him.
I think your question is for me, though. Matt won't be able to answer your question.
What do you mean? Matt has been the one that's been sending me the money, so he'll be the one to answer that question. Stop being bratty and give him the damn phone, Winter.
Pam, Matt hasn't been sending you the money. I have. Matt didn't have that kind of money to spare to send you.
That can't be true. Matt has been sending me money from his account. He had so much money, I saw it.
Yes, Pam, because I've been sending him the money to send it to you, and you saw my account on his phone.
You can't stop sending me the money because of a comment I made.
Oh, but if Matt followed what you had asked him to do, you wouldn't have the money too.
You're heartless.
Me? Oh, please, Pam. Since the day you've met me, you've been nothing but disrespectful. Now deal with the consequences of your actions. Matt and I blocked Pam everywhere. We explained the situation to Matt's dad, and he understood where we were coming from. He told us that he wasn't helping Pam out either because he didn't want to support her actions to make her feel like she could keep doing mean things and still have someone to fall back on. In the end, Matt and I removed the toxic presence in our lives that was holding us back. I felt a little bad, but I also learned that I can't keep letting people walk all over me. I needed to stand up for myself, and in doing so, I made sure that I was happy. Thank you for listening to my story, and I hope that it inspires you to stand up for yourself no matter what you're up against.